Do you want to have Windows Vista 07's era all over your Windows 10? Well, these two are the best choice for you. Hi everyone, I'm Everything Windows, and these are Windows Empathy and Windows Avalon. Straight into the setup, Windows Empathy utilizes Windows 10's setup, although a fruitiger arrow-like image is used for the setup background, indicating the heavy use of arrow later in the mod. After the setup has finished, we got straight into the desktop. As for Windows Avalon, it implements what looks to be a Windows Vista Beta-like setup, with the background shares a similarity to that of Windows Vista Beta 2 setup background. Well, this is because Windows Avalon leans more into the Vista Beta aesthetic put into Windows 10, rather than just Aero in general. After just 4 minutes, I got straight to the desktop. Rebooting both OS, we can see that Empathy boots you straight to the logon screen, and then the desktop, while Avalon treats itself like a Vista Beta build which displays the Vista orb first and then greets you with the logon screen. Now, here we are on both Empathy and Avalon desktop. We're gonna take a look at Empathy first, and then we are moving to Avalon. First, Windows Empathy. Looking at the desktop, we can see that basically, it has its arrow spirit. This is signified by the icons that use Windows Vista variants as far as I see. A custom curved sidebar, which I think also exists in Project 05, and Vista Beta-like taskbar with the orb looks brighter than what we see in the final version. Opening the start menu, the content of the left side is mostly empty with only PowerShell and Firefox left. Why is it Firefox? Because the creator loves Firefox. As for the layout, this start menu is a mix of Windows Vista and Windows 7. The start menu layout is of course Windows Vista, like the search bar, the power button and such, but the content is kind of Windows 7 as you see on the right side. By having Windows 7 as the comparison, you can see that it leans towards Windows 7 with several items added here. Speaking of Firefox, yes, you totally can use Firefox in here. Even the design is modeled after the old version of Firefox for nostalgia's sake. It's version 1.15 ESR, if you're wondering. Because it's modern, of course you can browse modern websites such as YouTube. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Another website is Modpedia, where you can find and create articles about Windows mods and packs. Be sure to check it out too. As for Windows Explorer, it was designed after Windows Vista, but I feel like this is more of a beta version of Vista because, well, in my opinion, it has more arrow-ish than the final version? I don't know. From the surface, this looks great. You get the Explorer, your command bar, your details pane, your view option. These are just your basic needs. This also applies to the window layout that looks more beta than the final version. And for me, this is nice. You can use arrow peek from the taskbar too, although you're gonna see a bit of a quirk when you open jump list. There is a small issue. As for other applications, we don't need to pinpoint each of them in detail, so we're just gonna go through each of them briefly. There's Calculator that uses the Windows 7 version, your normal notepad, the usual WordPad, classic task manager, modern snipping tool, fax and scan if you want it for some reason, and Windows Media Center. Oh jeez, yeah, I forgot about Windows Media Player. Well, how about it? Well, it claims to be Windows Media Player 11, but I don't buy it. I don't believe that. And the About box says it's version 12. Well, we can play audio like what we would expect, I guess. Whoa! Why did it suddenly change? Wait, I think I have a doubt in here. Is the previous one a media player skin? Oh, abso-bloody-lutely. Oh, you clever. But anyway, it will still play your videos and music no matter how it looks. As for customization, you can access it by right-clicking the desktop, like what people usually do. In this mod, it doesn't tie to the visuals of Vista context menu. That's okay, as long as you are still able to customize the desktop background, which the creator generously gave us many. You can customize the window color, sound scheme, and screensaver. Unlike Windows 10, this mod comes with sample media. The sample pictures are a mix of Windows Vista and Windows 7. It goes the same with sample music too. Don't forget about the Windows 7 sample video, which is Wildlife. I'm sure many of you know this sample video. Next, control panel. The left pane is modeled after Windows Vista as far as I remember. Or maybe it's a beta version, yeah, either two. But applets inside are redirecting to Windows 10 settings, which I feel like is okay, but people are going to criticize it because of its inaccuracy, or well, considering it is a leftover from Windows 10. About Windows 10, yes, this is based on Windows 10 as you all know, and it is based on the famous Windows 10 IoT Enterprise LTSC 2021. The branding in WinVer applet was changed to the Empathy. It can also be seen on the system properties with the Windows XP computer picture there. And just in case for more information, this is the Windows 10 settings app. This mod is brought to you by DMax, the guy who brought you Project Hysteria back in 2023. Gosh, can't believe that video is almost 2 years old. Now, let's talk about more applications in this mod. Game Explorer was revived with all games from Windows XP to Windows 7 included. I'm gonna show you 3D Pinball as an example. Okay, how about a game of Reversi? Although I don't recall this being included in any version of Windows newer than Windows 3.1. I think this game is unofficially included. For Windows Vista /7 exclusive applications, we got Windows Live Messenger, which does not work like a normal messenger because this isn't even Messenger. This is Aero Chat made by NordVPN and the team, which is a custom Discord client that mimics the experience of Live Messenger. Pretty amazing. You got your usual Windows Movie Maker, Windows Photo Gallery, and more that I didn't show in here. Windows 10 remnants are still found in this mod, just in case, for your convenience, if you want to use it. This includes Windows 10's Task Switcher, Magnifier, On-Screen Keyboard, Task View, Virtual Desktop, Action Center, Search, Settings, and Emoji Panel. You can disable or replace these with their classic variant, which you can find on the internet. As for gadgets, yes, you can customize your gadgets just like in Windows 7, but it works more like in Windows Vista as sidebar, because when you bring it outside of the sidebar, it automatically enlarges. That's okay if you don't mind it. Some of the example gadgets are the CPU and RAM meet gadget, which you already know, and the recycle bin gadget, where you can just throw any file or folder or anything you don't want to the bin on the sidebar without showing the desktop first. This is very convenient if you are into productivity, saving time to do simple tasks. I forgot about several things. When you press Ctrl Alt Delete, it shows the Windows 7 version, which is a nice touch. And you can still use window snapping, arrow shake, and window preview despite it being quite glitchy. Overall, if you ever feel interested in Aero-esque or Fritiga Aero-like appearance on your Windows 10, this mod is the good choice for you. But don't forget to remember that installing this will require you to have some advanced Windows knowledge to troubleshoot several modern scenarios. But if you want more Vista beta appearance in your Windows 10, let's check out Windows Avalon. Looking at the desktop, it really gives me the Vista, like Windows Vista beta feel. Although not precisely, but at least you get the gist of it by the desktop background that reminds me of Longhorn 4074's default background, the Vista icon there, the taskbar with the alternate startup like in Empathy, and the more realistic sidebar with no curve. But in Avalon, you might encounter one problem. The desktop may go black if you aren't lucky enough. You can solve the problem by going to the task manager and killing the old_unglass.exe process. Now, opening the start menu, this looks closer to Windows Vista, or more appropriately, the Windows Vista Build 5259 start menu. As you can see, from the right side, the search bar and the recent app list have a similar layout, although the icons for programs are likely from later builds of Vista. Briefly looking at the programs list and oh my gosh, this is great! Before we go any further, this mod is based on Windows 10 IoT Enterprise LTSC 2021 again too, just like Windows Empathy. But in this mod, it tries to disguise itself as Windows Vista, as seen in the version number. Well, this kind of applies to the System Properties applet too, which has that Windows Vista icon as the image there. Oh yeah, if you're wondering, no, you can't do Windows Experience Index yet. Oh. Looking at Windows Explorer, this mod utilizes the same Vista appearance as in Windows Empathy, from the command bar, details pane, to everything in it provokes Vista look and feel. What is different is the window layout, especially the minimize, maximize, and close button that have their own transparency, rather than being dark. Jump list is also in here with the same quirk as in Windows Empathy. Next, control panel. It defaults to the all control panel items, which I find weird, but that's okay. You can switch to the category view if you want to. Unlike in Empathy, applets in Avalon are reverted to the classic version as much as possible. But I find one very funny thing about this mod, like specifically this mod. I don't know how or why does this work, but if you open Security Center, well, either one of them, expanding any items in it just makes it disappear.
What? What the f?
Let's talk about customization. Right-clicking the desktop gives you the option for personalized computer, which is quite more accurate to the Vista beta version, I believe. When you open it, it gives you the same applet as what you would see in Windows Vista. Pretty amazing. And it doesn't stop there. The window color customization looks like what was seen in build 5259. You get plenty of desktop backgrounds, which gives you that Vista beta feel. Screensaver that includes Aurora and Windows Energy. Check out the sound skin too. Now I want to talk about the absolutely not Internet Explorer, but Firefox. It looks so stripped down with not many navigations at the top, and you only get tab managing row or whatever you want to call it. There's no menu to customize anything, like nothing. it's just that. Well, you can use Alt to show it briefly, but that doesn't help. It says it tries to mimic Internet Explorer 7, even though Internet Explorer 7 is supposed to look like this. I think this is maybe an incorrect style configuration. Windows Media Player in here is the normal Windows Media Player, no skin used. This is a tweaked version of the actual Windows Media Player 11. And if you don't believe that this is actually version 11, this is the About window. Looking at help and support in this mod, it is ported from Windows Vista along with all its topics and subtopics. The appearance of the program is also changed to use a blue gradient, a nice detail. The blue gradient theme applies to remote desktop connection too. As for fax and scan, it uses a green gradient that reminds me of Windows Longhorn, which usually uses gradients of basic color depending on the program. Unfortunately, that doesn't apply to Windows DVD Maker, which doesn't have the custom color. Other applications are here, such as the usual calculator, notepad, wordpad, paint, character map, phone dialer, command prompt, and task manager. Compared to Windows Empathy, where it uses the latest version of Windows Movie Maker available, you get the early version of Windows Movie Maker in Windows Avalon, along with the Longhorn menu color, which I find it interesting. And this is Windows Media Center, that has a different theme than what you see in Empathy. Oh yeah, Welcome Center. It's finally here, but it's much simpler with really just bare bones, and it's under security category? Nah, I'm a bit confused. When Windows Empathy has the mix of Windows Vista and Windows 7 sample media, Windows Avalon only features Windows Vista sample media such as sample music and sample videos, but weirdly there's no sample pictures. Moving to games included, this revives Games Explorer, and the games are there, minus 3D Pinball. Playing as an example, Inkball. Remember that this mod is trying to imitate the experience of Windows Vista beta builds with all its arrows? Well, how about we taking a look at Vista exclusive programs? Well, here is Windows Calendar, Windows Contacts, Mail, Photo Gallery, and Anti-Spyware, which would later become Windows Defender. That's just the name seen in beta builds. Talking about arrows, you have the transparent task switcher right here. And just like what you see in Empathy, this mod has its own Windows 7 design of security option, also known as the shortcut Ctrl-Alt-Delete. If you ever feel like you want to have some Windows 10 features or customizations, the Windows 10 settings is left open for you to use. This also applies to the task view, which can be accessed by pressing Windows and Tab, but in reality, that opens the flip through the interface as seen in Windows Vista, which in this one is not. The Windows Avalon you see in this video is made by Exynos, formerly known as Tech4090, which has been attempting to create several mods in the past. You can check those out on the archive.org page. Apart from Snipping Tool, which I noticed that it uses the newer version, it's a good overall impression for me, but that doesn't mean I have something to complain about. Mainly with the Aero window management features such as the window preview or Aero peek, window snapping, and the old famous Aero shake are all buggy in here. Well, these can be attributed to the fact that this is Windows 10, again, and it uses custom window layout that slaps Aero in it. So yeah, just expect something to be buggy. All in all, these two are really a great Windows 10 to Aero mod that you can check out. Shout out to DMax and Exynos for making this possible. What I haven't seen is if any Windows 10 or maybe Windows 11 modifications done to replicate the Neptune interface. I think that's a good mod idea.